people throwing a black lady out who's going crazy. Imagine if that was white people doing it. By the way, there's plenty of videos of the wall marching, fat white people freaking out too. It is a time bomb. We've always talked about it. I don't know when it's going to blow, but I tell you, that fuse is getting short. So short, it's that moment where it burns down right into the bomb, and you see that red dot, and you wonder, boy, it's about to go. All right, using Drudge Report is just a example of how the true independent media is controlling the narrative 9 times out of 10 now, and how the dinosaur media has lost control with their deception. 3 days ago, Drudge began linking to Infowars.com articles every day for 3 days in a row, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, linking to Paul Joseph Watson and other articles with exclusive intel on Bilderberg with the headlines. They're going after Trump on the agenda. They want an internet ID tax system, and they want to keep Britain from exiting the euro. We have actual sources, and then, of course, Bilderberg puts out its own press release. We grabbed that first, put it out, Drudge linked to it. Mainstream media ignored it on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Okay, remember, Drudge top linked it. Then today, it's in the London Independent, CNBC, and a bunch of other publications. And look at the headline. World planners meet. Boy, you know, if top world golfers met, it'd be big news. If top Hollywood stars met, if top scientists met. But world planners meet. Brexit, migrants, Trump on menu, reporters chased away. Oh, since I just looked, you just added an Infowars link. So, because that's newsworthy. Yeah, they got detained. Some got arrested. Paul Joseph Watson. So, see, that's how fast Drudge moves. This is a microcosm example. So, see, Drudge 10 years ago breaks the blockade. Sure, Jim Tucker, Infowars, we were all reporting on it. Daniel Estulin, others. But breaking the blockade in the U.S. was Drudge, just showing how it's a facade. And now 10 years later, they've got to admit, okay, there's a secret government, world government meeting. Okay, yes, George Soros is involved. Yes, they want $100 trillion in global taxes every decade paid to them. And yes, they want to tax the internet and control it. And yes, they want to open the borders up. And yes, they want to kick Donald Trump out. And Gawker and the White House run Media Matters, Brock, can say tinfoil hat and kook all they want. But the London Guardian, one of the most respected papers in the world, the Financial Times of London, very respected by the establishment, CNBC, the London Independent, all of them have to go, okay, world leaders are meeting in secret. And then when they go back to their parliaments and to their congresses and to their Bundestags, they get asked, what'd you do? What happened? And lawsuits start, and people are removed from office. And then England goes, wait a minute, 90% of our laws are made by EU bureaucrats that are unelected. We want out. How many years did I hammer that the UK was part of Bilderberg, and we'd have Lord Monckton on, and we'd travel there, and Lord Monckton would even travel. We made it an issue. It became the issue, and we're winning. So when I get up here and brag about what Infowars has done or what Drudge has done, it's not about us. It's about a war. And do you want to live under multinational, unelected corporations that just do whatever they want and then have a bunch of weirdos in paid-off so-called media sit there in big fancy sets and laugh at you and go, build a burger? Can I get cheese and onions on that? I've probably been on radio and TV shows 200 plus times where they said, can I have a cheese on that burger? And I'm like, wow, that's really original. That is so amazing. You know, when I got arrested in Canada and they said they were going to put me in a Toronto prison for 15 hours until the media showed up, there weren't any cheeseburgers there. I was just trying to cover Bilderberg. But the good news is all the intimidation, all the demonization hasn't worked. It's blown up in their face. The problem is, speaking of DrudgeReport.com, is that Drudge, again, is linking to Zero Hedge, great folks, and our own Michael Snyder. The problem is the mainstream media is not reporting on it yet. EBT card outage. It's been 2 weeks in some areas. It's up to 8 days in some major cities. Widespread glitches. Flashback video, woman trashes store after food stamps refused. And you watch the chilling video that's up at drudgereport.com on the right-hand side, and you can see this woman flipping out a few days ago when her card didn't work. And this is happening all over the country. She doesn't know how to do anything. Her whole life, she's been on welfare. Her whole life, she sits there and watches Oprah Winfrey. Where's her free car? I love this woman. I mean, I'm sad for her. She's like a giant 450-pound toddler. She's totally deranged, and she's acting like a 3-year-old. Just like Paul Watson said, social justice warriors are arrested development fools that think they're high-tech intellectuals because they watch Mr. Maddow.
I'm here to say, and this is the reason why I came to see you, Alex, is you are one of the very few who are operating under this theory to be an independent American. In a big way. If your calling is media, fine. If your calling is sports, whatever it is, but you've got to be the greatest you can be now. I don't know why they've been successful in pushing everybody into these little ghettos of these Facebooks and these tweets and these Instagrams, these Instas. This is ghetto. This is ghetto. This is corporate. They're taking your energy. They're taking your energy, and you're getting nothing in return. Nothing.
They're dumbing the language down. Twitter's designed to reduce the language directly out of 1984. It's ingsoc.
I had a Supreme Court justice tell me to my face, it's over for me. I said, Matt, it's over for you. They've got the votes now to enforce copyright law. You're out of there. They're going to make it so headlines you can't even use headlines. To have a Supreme Court justice say that to my face, that it's over. They've got the votes, which means time is limited. Time is not forever. How many more moons and sunrises will you see in your life? Rise and fall. There's not that many. It's a small amount. So for people to be saying with this attitude, oh, I'll get on with my life and my greatness sometime. No, you can't.
We're being enslaved now, and that's it. Under the TPP, they admit you can't put a headline to the New York Times. You're sending massive traffic to them. They're claiming you're taking their words. This is insane.
And you had the Justice Stephen Breyer said we need to look at a global law now. Remember just recently
getting it lined up with it.
So they're getting ready for these decisions to come. You thought Obamacare was shocking. You thought some of these other decisions were shocking. Wait until these copyright laws work their way up and the Supreme Court decides you cannot have a website with news headlines linking across the board.
Waging war on corruption. It's Alex Jones coming to you live from the front lines of the info war.
I'm going to make more of those vignettes. Darren McBrain put that little 2.5-minute piece together when Drudge visited us last year. It's like a 45-minute long interview with just more little nuggets of what he talked about 10 months ago that now, unfortunately, all of it's coming true. And that's because Drudge obviously has a lot of high-level context, but he can also obviously see what's happening as he follows the news for 18 hours a day, as we do. And so can other people around the world. We're just pointing out common sense things here that everybody already instinctively knows, but we're letting everybody know you're not alone. MSNBC, CNN, all these channels, they're about making you think you're alone. Ha, 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 these racists don't want Obamacare. Hey, this subsection says it doubles and triples prices. Shut up, racist. Well, actually, I just want to, keep my health care. Shut up. Well, it says here I'm going to lose my doctor. No, it doesn't. Yeah, read the subsection. Gruber's like, thank God they're so stupid that they never actually read the subsections. We can screw them over. They go on C-SPAN and say you're dumb. Zuckerberg says you're dumb. Well, there may be a large portion of the population that is in a coma. But just because they're going along with it doesn't mean you have a right to screw me over. In a pure democracy, 51% can vote to rob the other 49%, to enslave them, whatever. In a republic, there are basic rights that the majority cannot vote to take away the minority's freedoms. And they've got us so obsessed with what skin color we've got or where we came from being the only rights or things that are involved. As a general human species, It's in the news every day that they're building a world with robots replacing us. People say, fine, I'll just sit around all day. If it isn't a world built by humans, for humans, maintained by humans, we will be obsolete, obsolescent. Even if the social engineers, and this is profound, don't want to get rid of us, we will be like 500-pound creatures in the movie WALL-E floating on a galactic cruise ship, already dehumanized. But guess what? The elite aren't going to let us just sit here and operate like jellyfish. The decision has been made to hasten our decline, to hasten our slouching into obsolescence, and to have an organized, incremental phasing out of Homo sapiens sapien. And that's what every white paper, every Wired magazine futurist report, every Ray Kurzweil Google board member statement says. In fact, there was like 4 articles yesterday, 2 or 3 the day before that, 5 or 6 the day before that I had in my stack, in the technology stack, that I meant to get to. And I'm like, you know, I've already said this 5,000 times. Why read them saying it again exactly as I told you they would do? Because I was only quoting them previously. It's like, how they're saying exactly what Alex said on the news today. That's because they've gone from the boardrooms and the drawing rooms, when I was telling you this stuff 20 years ago off white papers and freaking out, to now putting it on TV because they're getting ready to go operational. And that's what's scary. Global financial taxes, phasing out of cash. You'll still have cash, but it'll be digitally marked and track its whole history. Cash is going to be like credit cards, you know, all tracked. The police will just drive by and grab money right out of your credit card or debit card. I saw that on the drawing board years ago. It's now being done. Covered that yesterday. In fact, that's so unbelievable. I'll give you the headline. This is Oklahoma 9 TV. Oklahoma Highway Patrol uses new device to seize money used during the commission of a crime. That's the whitewash article today. The newspaper headline, you guys give me yesterday's article, was more hardcore. It was like, in new asset forfeiture seizure, police are going to take money directly out of your debit card from a distance. You may have heard of civil asset forfeiture. That's where police can seize your property in cash without first proving you committed a crime. Oh, guilty until never proven innocent. Without a warrant and without arresting you, as long as they suspect that your property is somehow tied to a crime. That is so unconstitutional. They've had it since the 80s. It's under letter of marque. It's the really big, bad, evil thing the police are involved in. But what they do is they cut the funding to the point where the police can only operate off of asset forfeiture. They got federal laws passed where the states can't keep the money unless they go through a federal program that up to 85% goes back, hence federalizing police. That's the other big secret. Now the Oklahoma Highway Patrol has a device that also allows them to seize money in your bank account or on prepaid cards. That's right. No judge, no jury. We just are going to grab money off your debit card. It's called ERAD, or Electronic Recovery and Access Data Machine, and state police began using 16 of them last month. Here's how it works. If a trooper suspects you may have money tied to some type of crime, oh, this is the trooper. Who needs a judge? Who needs a jury? Who needs a grand jury? Who needs an indictment? Who needs a DA? Here's how it works. See how News 9 reports it like it's fun? Here's how it works. You stick your head in the guillotine, they pull the switch, and a big giant razor blade falls out and chops your heads off. It's so much fun. Oh, I'm sorry. Remember ABC News last week? It's wonderful. Every child will soon have a microchip. You know it's coming. That's a quote. Here's how it works. If a trooper suspects you may have money tied to some type of crime, the Highway Patrol can scan any cards you have and seize the money. You mean he just suspects or she suspects? And remember all the news reports about different areas of the country where the corrupt police pull you over and it's an old lady with $3 grand in her wallet, in her purse, and the cops just take it? And then the local judge goes, well, we tested the money and some of the bills had cocaine on it. Well, almost all money that's been circulated has drugs on it. That's known. That's our proof. And they'll tell the old lady, you let us have the $3 grand or we're taking your Cadillac. And most of them just go, because, you know, old ladies are smart and don't keep all their money in the bank because they lived through the Great Depression. how police took $53,000 from a Christian band, an orphanage, and a church. You know, I'm not anti-police themselves individually.